Raging Raptor here. Today I will be doing a sub $450 gaming PC. This gaming PC should be getting around 40 to 60 frames per second. Medium settings most of the time. Sometimes you can crank it up all the way to high or ultra. And sometimes, very rarely though, you'll probably have to turn it down to low settings if you're playing at a very high resolution. But if you're playing at 1080p, like you probably will for this price, this computer should do just fine. So, let's get started. For the CPU, I chose the AMD FX 6300 3.5 gigahertz 6-core processor. So this is not your average 6-core processor. It's below average, sadly. It's nothing compared to an i7 5820K. It's not that kind of 6-core processor. You could tell just by looking at the price. The i7 5820K is like $300 more expensive, or maybe like $250 more expensive. It is a couple years old, but it should do fine for $100. It is a great CPU. For the motherboard, I chose the ASRock 970M Pro 3 Micro ATX AM3 Plus / AM3. I know AM4 is soon to come out with the Zen processors, but for now, this motherboard, even though that is an older chipset, it should do fine because the motherboard, newer and newer chipsets just provide new features and do not provide extra performance. So just keep that in mind, because for $51 it gets the job done. So for RAM, I have the Team Vulcan 8GB 1/8 stick, DDR3 1600 megahertz. For $33, this is pretty good RAM. I understand that it's not dual channel RAM, which would be better, but it's still 8 gigs of RAM, which is pretty much a standard in gaming if you're doing any resolution. 8 gigs of RAM was so cheap, it doesn't even make sense to get less. Some games like Star Wars Battlefront recommends 16, but pretty much everyone who had 8 gigabytes ran it fine with no problems. So they probably just, I don't know, just wanted to trick you. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. For a hard drive, whoa, what's okay? Seagate Barracuda 1 terabyte 7200 RPM. It's $46 for a hard drive. Very good deal. You don't even need a mail-in rebate for it. It's 1 terabyte, so it should be storing all your games. If you need more, 2 terabytes isn't crazy more expensive. Probably $10-20 more dollars. I could not fit an SSD in this build, and it doesn't really make sense because SSDs cost for like a 250 gigabyte SSD. I could get another video card, even though you can't run the 950 in SLI. But that's it for the hard drive, and sadly no SSD. So for the GPU, we have the Asus GeForce GTX 952 gig. So currently it has a $30 mail-in rebate, knocking it down to $130. Great deal for a 950. 2 gigabytes right now is a bit on the lower side. Preferably you should have 3 or 4 gigs or even more. But for now, this will get the job done, especially if you're playing games like CSGO, which do not need a lot of VRAM and can easily run this game at over 100 frames per second. So this video card will get the job done. For medium settings, you'll be getting 40 to 60 FPS depending on your resolution and what setting you have it on, such as low, medium, high, ultra, or whatever it is for the game that you're playing. So for the case, I have the Raid Max ATX-402WB ATX mid-tower case. So even though we have a micro ATX motherboard, I still chose an ATX case in case in the future you want to upgrade your motherboard or something you want to upgrade, and an ATX mid-tower case will definitely fit what you want. It's quite a nice case for the price. I understand that it doesn't look as good as possibly a NZXT H440, or it doesn't have probably the craziest, most high-tech features, but it's a case. It has 2 USB ports, 2.0 I believe. It has audio jacks, and really that's all you need in a case. So for the power supply, we have the EVGA 400 watt ATX, $25 with a $10 mail-in rebate. Even though we're only using 274 watts, I chose the 400 watts in case you want to get possibly a more high wattage CPU or a more powerful graphics card, so you will have the upgrade path to get those. As well, I have the OS, Windows 10, 7. I will be doing a video on where to get it very soon. So the total comes up to $424, $70 of mail-in rebates, $2 for shipping. And there is a compatibility note, if you're wondering about that. It says your motherboard may need a BIOS update, but when you get the motherboard, it should come automatically updated, and if it's not, you could go to the manufacturer's website and look for the BIOS update. So, that is it for this video, guys. Catch you in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, and